What's going on, y'all? BBQ Dropout. So if you're wondering like how long you should be smoking like your brisket flat for, just know that the same principles kind of apply regardless of whether or not you're smoking like a brisket flat, a brisket point, or like a whole pack of brisket, meaning like if it's both the flat and the point. So in this case, like if you're trying to like guesstimate like how long like a brisket flat should take to smoke, I honestly, I would again use the same principle of considering how much does it weigh, and then how hot and fast or like low and slow you plan to cook the thing at. And those are really, at the end of the day, like the only two main things that will move the needle either which way, regardless of how much your brisket weighs, what type of brisket it is. It should always kind of give you the average in terms of like how long it should take. And because like a brisket flat is still a brisket, it's still part of a brisket. So even though like I know like a brisket has like different muscle fibers and all that, on average like it's still the same kind of meat. So in this case, any kind of brisket flat is generally going to be weighing at about like 5 to like 7 pounds or something. Maybe if you have like a monster brisket, it'll be like 10 pounds at the max, because you're basically like cutting the brisket in half, and like you have like half of it weighing however much. And so again, like you just want to try to weigh the thing, or when you buy it you want to look on the cryovac seal and see how much does the thing weigh. And so if it weighs like, let's say 5 pounds, let's say you have like a 5-pound flat that you're looking to smoke and kind of wondering how long it's going to take. Well, now that you have how much it weighs, then you want to try and consider, okay, well, do I want to be done with the thing like on a timely manner, or can I let it just sit on the smoker for quite a long time? And so if you're not really pressed for time, if you're just kind of smoking it on the weekend or whatever, don't really care, then you can certainly just smoke it at a low and slow temp of around like 225 to like 250 degrees. That's kind of like the low and slow range that you'll hear a lot of people say or like talk about. And that'll take about like 1 pound per hour of cook time. So a 5-pound flat in this case, as an example, should take about 5 hours. And then anything above like 275, I would classify as being like low and slow. And so if you're doing it, or I mean, hot and fast. So if you're doing it hot and fast, then try to budget about like 2 pounds per 1 hour of cook time. So that same 5-pound flat as this, for this example, should only take like maybe 2.5 to 3 hours at the max if you're like really cranking up the temp. But regardless of like even all that stuff, let's say like you really don't know, and if you kind of like take both ends of the spectrum, so to speak, then it should take at the longest like 5 to like 6 hours of cook time, down anywhere between like 4 to like 6 hours worth of cook time, regardless of like how hot and fast or how low and slow you're cooking it at. And so that's really all goes into kind of calculating or guesstimating the longevity of a cook for smoking a brisket flat.